Getting better and getting pucks deep, putting the puck deep.
Put pucks in deep.
He's chipping pucks. He's getting pucks deep.
Getting a lot of pucks deep. Getting pucks deep.
Just put the puck deep.
Getting pucks out. Getting pucks deep.
Get pucks deep. Wear them down.
Get pucks in.
Pucks in.
Pucks in deep.
Puck deep. Pucks deep. Keep getting pucks deep and deep.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pucks and Deep podcast. I'm your host, also known as Brown Vetchkin, also known as Dark Chocolate. My name is Ellie. I'm here with the dog himself, the 50-point merchant, D-Dawg, and I'm also here with the self-quoted white Kendrick Lamar, Kylan.
No, I'm not. No.
Oh, man, how are you guys doing today? Big wins by Canada, especially on that Wednesday night. How much you want to start with that? Or
Yeah, we can start with that. It's fine with me.
Yeah? All right. What did you guys think about that game?
You kind of already put all your thoughts on the internet with your solo series.
I definitely did. I think that was very fair of me, too.
Ali just playing with himself over there.
I was, yeah. But I want to, obviously, I think everyone knows my opinion. You guys can go watch the video for that. What do you guys think about that game?
It's a good game. I mean, it was. You really can't take a penalty against that Canadian team. That power play line of just McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, McCarr, and then Reinhardt is just filthy. Like, you can't have four of the best puck movers in the league and then one of the best shots in the league and think you're gonna get out without having a goal scored. And much less in the first 2 minutes. Like, it's something you can't afford to do with Sweden. Gustafsson was great in the PK as well. But if you're Nylander, you can't be, especially if you're Nylander. Like, Nylander is one of their top guys. He's one of their leaders on the team.
But again, that high stick, you can't
make it that one.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you can't really take that penalty, can you? Again, 50 seconds in, that was a horrible play.
You can't blame him. It was a battle type thing, but it's just
got to keep
you got to control your stick a little more than that, and And
then again, I said in my previous video, the Americans' key to victory is don't take a penalty. It's Matthew Tkachuk. Can the Tkachuks keep composed?
I think
right?
I think it's not that they won't take a penalty, because they're a very gritty style play team. The Canadians are very much focused on finish so far. From what we've seen, they're very focused on, they make fancy plays, they move the puck extremely well, they take good shots when they need to take shots. Yeah. My real thing, I think, is the question for the American game coming up, which we'll get to in a little bit. I have that whole schedule for that later on. Is something completely different than if they can stay on the box. I think with Sweden, their downfall was that box, and then their downfall was going 3-on-3. This Canadian team, you have to beat in regulation. If you go to overtime with them, you will lose 100% of the time, because you're giving guys like Crosby, McKinnon, McDavid, McCarr, Marner, even all these guys, you give them so much time and space, so much room to move, that it's a long day if you're playing that offense. Like, that overtime goal, Crosby just skated it up with all the time in the world and then dropped it back 3 lines, because the Sweden players line up in a line, to 2 rushing guys. It's a long day. You can't take this team to overtime.
If there is a team in the tournament that can take the Canadians to overtime and get away with it, it is the U.S., though.
Okay, but
they have the star power.
With all due respect to the Swedish, they played an absolutely incredible second and third period. To me, it looked like they completely outplayed the Canadians in that second and third period, right?
They played a fantastic game. Second period, I wouldn't say outplayed. Third period, yes. I think it's just that.
From 10 minutes left in the second period,
that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I think
it was
split down that.
Sweden.
I think that, again, it's one of those teams you have to beat in the regulation. You have to, because you give them that much time and space on the ice in the 3-on-3, and they're gonna walk your team.
Yeah, that is true.
With skaters wise,
I don't know. To me, I think this game says more about Sweden than to Canada.
100%
the Swedish, the way they came back, right?
One thing I think
the fight they had to bring that team back, and
well, and especially with the atmosphere in Montreal, that had to.
They silenced that crowd in that third,
100%.
Right? And you can't tell me that Sweden might not win this tournament, right?
Fans.
Let's be honest. Okay. Man.
No, I think Sweden's a contender for it. I want to move on to the next game that happened yesterday. Move on to, because they're all so interchangeable, because it's only 4 teams. So you can talk about them all in one. I want to talk about the first showing of the States versus Finland.
I just want to talk about just one more thing about Team Canada. Sidney Crosby, 25 straight games without losing a game in that Team Canada uniform.
He's going to be one of the greatest players of all time for Canadian.
That is a guy that hates to lose.
Is he the greatest player to ever wear a Canadian
uniform?
uniform?
My gosh, I'm gonna get so mad about this. I get it. There's an argument for Marie-Philippe Poulin. I get it. She's a fantastic player. She's done countless achievements with the Canadian national team. I don't think if you're talking about the female player GOAT, 100%.
Wick. It's gonna be Wickenheiser.
I go between the two of them. Poulin's getting up there, man, dude.
She is.
She's
Yeah, I'll give her
getting so
respect.
far. She's
After next year's Olympics, if Canada wins gold,
I also
it'll
find
be
as well
her.
like Wickenheiser was really good, but I find Poulin has better hockey sense. I find sometimes when I'm watching. That's just my opinion. Again, you could think it's wrong, but that's my opinion.
Again, each of them has their strength. Like to me,
100%.
Hayley Wickenheiser was a Canadian captain. She was a leader, right?
Yes,
She knew
100%.
how to put her people into battle. Marie-Philippe Poulin, obviously hockey sense. Like she
She
leads
is-
on the ice.
She's one of the best
freaking
people I've ever seen to read the ice.
Yeah.
But if you're talking in general for GOAT of Canadian national team players, it has to be Crosby. The dude has lost a grand total in his 25-year career of playing on any national teams with the Canadians. He's only lost 4 games wearing that Maple Leaf. You know how insane that is at the top level. International play is the top level. The NHL Cup is up there, but the international play is the best of the best every country has to offer. And especially when you're playing teams like the U.S., you're playing teams like Sweden at their prime.
Let's not
Finland at their
forget
prime.
Russians.
When the Russians are allowed to play,
That's the
yeah.
other thing.
Obi Crosby in a World Juniors,
Like it's
right?
just like there is in my mind no doubt that it is Sidney Crosby, and no doubt in my mind.
my only argument, and it's not even his fault, is the gold medal. Like if you look at it, he only has 2 gold medals, right?
I don't count
Now-
gold medals. The reason why I don't count gold medals is gold medals are a team thing. It's not individuals. Sidney Crosby has done so much for, and in those 2 gold
Right.
medals, he's also.
Okay, but like hypothetically, Bettman allows players to go to the Olympics in 2018 and 2022. Does Crosby end with 4 gold medals?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah?
100%.
Like, you don't think there was a team that could have beaten? I mean, 2018, yeah, you had Prime McDavid. Like, McDavid started, that 2018 team, you still had Price there. 2022,
Price wouldn't have played that team.
Price would have 100 played.
Who would have
2018,
the 2018
who
goalie?
else, who else would have been a 2018 goalie?
Price was too busy getting his knee blown up by Chris Kreider.
2018.
I'm just bugging you.
2018.
I'm just
Somehow
curious,
Connor Hellebuck would have worn the Canadian leaf at that year. I don't know
Yeah.
I
how,
don't
but he
know.
would have found a way.
Okay.
No, it's
like what we had Brandon Holtby. That's the only guy I
he
think
would have
that
been
can
the
like
backup
maybe.
that year.
Yeah.
I still don't think
Wasn't
there's any
Crawford still playing
question.
at that point?
I think
too?
Crawford still was playing, but maybe there would have been a better option.
still-
like Devin Dubnyk was pretty decent at that time.
Dubnyk was a
Devin
shout.
Dubnyk.
That's
What
a
a
shout out right
legend.
there.
I don't know. I still think there's no doubt in my mind with Crosby.
Really? Okay.
No doubt
Okay.
in my mind, and none whatsoever. It should always be Crosby. It will always be Crosby. My mind.
Okay.
I
I
still-
can see the argument right now.
Yeah.
I think he's the greatest men's player. I don't think there's I don't think there's a debate. I mean, you could probably put up like a Gretzky or Lemieux. No, what Crosby's done. And
Gretzky was fantastic, but he also at the international level didn't have as stellar of a record as Crosby did. Also, the difference is, I find with Crosby is just the fact that as Gretzky got older, he began to slow. He didn't slow down fully. He began to slow. Crosby has shown no sign of aging.
And let's be honest, Crosby has scored probably a top 2 goal in Canadian history.
Yes.
Only one I'd
It's-
put above that is Summit Series. I think, I think Summit Series, Paul Henderson, and then
but you
Golden
know what I'm
Goal.
talking about. Like
It's the call on that it's always going to be remembered in our
Yes,
country.
100%.
I don't think that there's anyone but Crosby you can put at that GOAT of position right now, at least. Right now. In the USA Finland game, I watched it yesterday while I was at work because I'm a good employee. No, I'm joking. I check the scores every like 2 minutes. Like it was fine. I just had the score page up.
I watched until 4-1. That was
Well, watching
4-1 was
Turn it
when
off.
I went upstairs.
watching the scores,
Went away.
it wasn't for part of it. And then once I was able to, I did watch the game. But in that game,
okay. Let's break it down first.
USA looked good. They looked very gritty. It's not the style like you expect to play. I expect it from the US. That sort of dump in, power forward, I'm gonna hit them type style. But they were running and gunning. Like they were just running and gunning, running around. Jack Eichel, who's not the guy you think is gonna throw some hits, blew up someone into
Just
the,
this tournament
into
in
the-
general has been a hell of a lot more physical than I thought it was going to be completely honest with you.
No, 100%. Well, that's the thing. You put NHL guys and you put their country's flag on it, they're gonna be in it. I don't think Finland looked bad, honestly. I think Saros didn't look awful, to be completely honest. I think the fact he did not really have a defensive core in front of him.
Like to me, that third goal was completely his fault. Like
Yeah, but at the end of the day, a goalie can let in one goal. It's his fault. it's the fact that he can't have the other
The
ones
third
from the
goal
team.
was the power
but
play one at the start.
Also,
of the
to
third,
defend
right?
Finland here, first of all, no Miro Heiskanen, no Rasmus Ristolainen, no
yeah.
Hakanpää. That is 3 defenders, right?
Oh,
right?
100%.
Rasmus Ristolainen. This is the one
but, like,
team
if
that
you look at it-
genuinely is phased by Rasmus Ristolainen.
If you look at it, Rasmus Ristolainen could have easily been a top pair defenseman on that team.
yes, but that's
right?
because Finland's
who's
defense is
who's
fucking
their best
terrible.
defender? Who's their best defender that game? Oli Mata? Off the top of my head?
He's the only one I really noticed consistently. Yeah.
Right? Like Finland absolutely. We talk about, oh, it's huge. It's hard to lose Pietrangelo. Oh, it's hard to lose blah, blah, blah.
Shea Theodore.
They lost their 2 best defenders.
Barkov and the school kids is what it is.
Oh, God.
Honestly, if you're that desperate, yeah, Barkov's a great first line center. That guy plays defense better than anyone. Just slap him back there. Throw him back there. You've got this. You
Barkov
can
looks
throw
good.
Line A at center.
Barkov looked good in general. I think Ranton didn't look bad. I think Aho looked pretty good.
That first line was good. Teravainen, Aho, Rantanen basically carried that team right there.
Well, no, Barkov was on the line, wasn't he?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, sorry.
Barkov
It was,
did play with Rantanen.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
Lundell
like,
looked pretty good though. He was one guy I noticed pretty consistently.
I'm
as a
still saying
standout
it,
for
guys.
Finns.
They Leafs should have chose Line A over Matthews. You know.
That's just wrong. I'm a big supporter of Patrick Laine. I know Devin is too, but
I love Patty, but he.
no.
I think the
Actually,
Jets should have taken.
I take that
Kachuk
back.
too.
Henry Jokiharju had a pretty good game. That was like the only defender I looked out there, and I'm like, okay, he had a decent game.
oh yeah, Haru had
Right.
a pretty good.
He's
did he score?
notably
He scored
good.
too, yeah.
He is
Yeah,
very
he's really
notably
good.
good defensively too.
It's just it's one of those things where like that Finland US game, it was almost like watching. It was very much at 2 different skill levels. Like the US is this powerhouse team.
Okay, I disagree.
I think the Finnish fought back pretty well.
Watching that third period was 2 different skill levels. Those
Yeah.
first 2 periods were very equally matched.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is, if it's an equally matched teams, it should be able to equally match through 3 periods. If you can keep up with them for the first 2 periods and you have nothing left in the tank for the third, you are not evenly matched them.
Yeah, that's right.
I think
100%.
it's 2 different levels, and that's not Finland's fault. It's just the fact that the U.S. is so much bigger than they are.
Well, and it's that
if you
decor.
if you look at population wise, the U.S. is what something like 50 billion, and then what? How much? I'm joking. No, 50 million or something like that.
No, they're around like 350, I think.
Are they 350 million?
Well, yeah, Finland has a population of 5 million. I think I searched up last night.
That's what I was getting to. Is like the U.S. has a huge population,
But, like,
and then you look at Finland.
If we're using the population argument, the U.S. should dominate everyone. Their next closest competitor is Canada, and they have 10 times our population almost.
yeah, but Canada's just better.
This is what we're known for.
We live in a frigid land of ice and snow.
So do Finland and Sweden. Like,
What else do you think we're gonna do? Yeah, but Sweden's
They go and do their Viking shit.
Sweden's all Vikings. They're on sailboats and putting snooze packs up their damn lip.
oh my God, this is going great, guys. This is going absolutely amazing.
The Swedes are more worried about Ragnarok than hockey. Don't worry.
Oh my lord. Oh my gosh. Worry about
That was an elite reference, though.
I love Norse
Elite
mythology.
reference.
Norse mythology.
They're
is
too worried
my
about
shit.
Thor and Odin smiting them than fucking
knocking
hockey.
the world serpent back in time.
Yeah, shit.
Okay, now that's a great conversation right there, guys.
But no, like
yeah.
population wise, Finland's so much smaller. So to have that sort of team that they did is actually quite impressive that they kept up with the U.S. for so long. But I don't think it was really a question of if they were going to win or not.
I feel so bad for Saros, man. That decor.
Soros. I feel bad for in general because like he's in Nashville and Nashville gives him no damn help, and then he goes to Finland, this international tournament, thinking, oh, maybe I get some help, and he has no decor.
Yeah.
He is Barkov.
I love seeing Nashville be bad. I don't know why. The Jets have played them once in the playoffs. We beat them in 7 games, and I still enjoy watching them fail. I don't understand it. I have no reason.
They're just Nashville. I don't know. I feel like Nashville's
they're
just one of those
so
teams
irrelevant.
you can hate, right?
I just like.
Is it the jerseys?
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be the
gotta
jerseys,
be
right?
what
Those
it is.
things are
The yellow just
nasty.
makes me angry.
No, it's the fans for me. I love the South, but Nashville fans are always the most obnoxious fans.
Well, when they were sitting there, it was during the 2018 playoff run when the Jets played them in the second round of the playoffs. One of their players had gone and thrown out that their fans were louder than us. But the only reason Bridgestone is as loud as it sounds is because they put amplifiers. As far as I've heard, there's amplifiers on the glass. I don't know if it's true, but that's from what I've heard. That's what it is. That I don't know.
I wouldn't be shocked if they're like pumping in crowd noise like they did at the Super Bowl.
Pumping in crowd noise just to amplifying it,
like they did on that Kendrick Lamar halftime show.
I think that was a great halftime show.
Okay. First of all, look,
it was one of the better ones I've seen in recent years.
Yeah.
Look, everyone knows I'm a Drake fan. Obviously, we all know what happens. Say Drake, you know what I mean?
That
Say Drake.
grin was fucking
That
evil.
was evil. Okay, but here's my thing.
He's being so nice. Say Drake.
And it just
Like,
super villain smile at
I
Drake.
love Kendrick, right? I was really disappointed he didn't play some of his earlier hits.
Yeah.
Like, he just focused on, it felt like GNX and a couple songs from Damn, and that was it. So I was very disappointed about that, first of all.
I like that he played Not Like Us because I think that's just a funny thing. But
I
And
feel
then
like
Serena Williams crip walking,
That's
too.
what I was gonna say.
That was fucking nuts.
wild.
Dude,
That
crip
was something
walking.
else.
How do you
Holy
feel?
shit.
How would you feel if first off, the guy who makes a diss track on you, who already has won Grammys for the diss track and won
5 of
multiple awards
5 of them.
for the diss track against you, where
Most winning Grammy rap song ever, I think,
where
too.
by the way, he called you a pedophile and called you all these other different
Everything under the
sun. Keep in mind, okay? Imagine having that and then having him play it at the Super Bowl, and then on top of that, he gets your ex, who you dissed in your last, I don't know his last album, or in some of your songs, who you dissed, to crip walk on you.
Well, and
then on top of that, the whole thing around that's something I read online. I don't know if it's true or not. The whole thing around is meant to be a PlayStation controller. So if you look at where he did the songs, the
That is one I've
combination
heard a lot.
the combination of buttons he used is the same as the cheat code for GTA for unlimited life and unlimited health. For unlimited health and unlimited stamina. Basically just saying I'm not going anywhere. Like Kendrick has taken hating to a whole nother level.
You know, I thought I was a
Dude,
very
the
hateful,
whole-
petty person.
Fuck me.
He's
no.
a generational hater.
Dude.
Generational hater.
it's-
no.
there's one man that can match the hating that Kendrick Lamar has shown, and it is Alex Pereira, who chased Israel Adesanya to the UFC.
No.
And even that's not close.
Dude, no. It's for hating, it's like comparing, for example, having, I don't know, who's like a really, really shit shooting guard.
Fuck define him, dude.
Pick
Why
one.
shooting guard? That's crazy.
Just pick one.
Buddy Hield.
Like having Buddy Hield versus fucking Luka Doncic of hating. Like that's the difference in those two right there.
And yeah, I mean, everyone said, "Oh, Drake's petty because like he fucked someone's wife or something." Kendrick, fuck man, oh my god,
Kendrick,
No, I'm telling you right now, I
We are
felt
no longer
like
a hockey podcast, by the way. We were an
I'm
everything
telling
podcast.
you
We
right
just-
now.
talk shit.
That
Welcome.
Kendrick thing, it didn't feel like the only message he was trying to send was fuck Drake. I feel like he just got the
Yes!
Super Bowl
That's
just
been-
to diss Drake.
That has been his whole thing. This
His
last
entire
year.
career is just gonna be dissing Drake.
This last year of
Fuck, he
his
makes
life
bands
has
off it,
been
dude.
made.
He
off
makes
of
bands off it.
just
He's fine.
Fuck you, Drake. Like it's unreal.
No, what I find really funny is around the Super Bowl is always this commercials. My favorite one is Kanye West every year. He buys a Super Bowl commercial every year, then on his phone goes, I spend the money on something else, so hi, buy Yeezy, and then just leaves.
And the only thing on
Oh,
his Yeezy
man.
website was
Oh man, Kanye West is a whole nother bag of
my
worms.
We're not gonna
right
get into
there.
that because there is
That's
so
not
many.
something worth getting into.
So
Guys,
moving
this is
on.
a hockey podcast.
Back to hockey. Okay, back to hockey. I want to talk about predictions for the USA versus Canada game, specifically certain things. I think there's key to victories on both teams. Key to victories for Canada. Use your puck moving skills. USA has proven so far that they like to throw that body. If you can zip the puck around, they won't know what to do. Second key, I'd say, either get Hellebuck off his game or take Hellebuck's eyes away. If you watch that Avs series from last year, that playoff series, the whole reason why Colorado had his number so much is because they took his eyes away. 99% of the time, they had one person sitting in front of the net causing havoc.
They were also putting up like 50+ shots a game. 'cause
Exactly.
Winnipeg
That's what I was
defense
gonna say.
forgot
Take
how to
Hellebuck
play.
off his game. Take his eyes away. Pepper him with shots. Make him. I'm talking first period, at least 20 shots.
I'm gonna be honest, and I don't say this. Obviously, I don't say this as someone wanting to see it. If you're good this year, Connor Hellebuck has been on. Like I've never seen him this dialed in. The only way you're really gonna throw him off his game completely is taking
Chris
a run
Kreider.
at him. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. Pull a Chris Kreider, but Chris Kreider plays for them.
I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying take a run out. I'm saying just when I say that,
please don't.
I'm saying
I would like to stay top 3 in the league.
I'm just saying take his eyes away. It's hard. It's hard for a goaltender to fight through a screen, especially if you can get enough guys there. Because if you have a guy there that even if he isn't screened fully, if he can stand there enough that he forces that to pull that D-man in to try and move him. If that D-man's trying to move him and you're just standing there, that's a double screen right there.
I mean, I look at that Jonas Brodin goal, the first goal there, right? Like Raquel had a perfect cut at the right time, taking the eyes away of Bennington. Perfect snipe, right?
Exactly.
Like you look at stuff like that. But I wanted to talk about this. Sam Bennett was scratched the first game. Does Sam Bennett get in the lineup? Because, like, let's be honest. To me, Matthew Tkachuk is going to be the X factor this game.
At practice today, they were running a line. I saw it. They have Marchand and Sam Bennett on the line together.
Yeah.
My God.
That's terrifying in a completely different way.
The only thing is that he won't be in the lineup, especially if McCarr's, because the only reason why he was in the lineup in those lineups for practice today was because they threw Konechny back on defense because McCarr was sick.
Travis Konechny, notable defenseman.
Well, Konechny was wearing the black scratch jersey. So he's going to be like
the first 2 games they're going to roll. They're going to pull someone from the bottom 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was Jarvis.
No, Jarvis is doing too good.
Had a pretty good game. Like,
I didn't notice him very much, to be completely honest. But I also only got to watch like half the game.
Hagel would probably be the guy to take out. No, Cirelli had a great game. I'm sorry, Cirelli is one of those guys that's just had
Brendan Hagel is playing for Team Canada over a 31 goal scorer. I would like to make that known.
Now, here's my thing. Is I had that argument where I was like, I would take Scheifele over like the bottom 6, right? I'm a huge Scheifele believer. But I look at this team, and a guy like Cirelli was doing those little dirty things, like blocking the shot,
100%.
using his body. You need guys that can fit the role. Scheifele is star power. I have to say it, and we have enough star power. I really like how they built that fourth line.
I completely agree with you. That's the thing with Canada.
Think that's just one of those situations where you can't. It's hard to say no to the goal scoring.
Agreed.
It's the same thing with the World Juniors with Michael Misa. Hard to say. That was a pretty obvious snub to me.
But that's a different situation in my opinion, because in the World Juniors we didn't take the best possible roster while still having that.
I honestly don't think this is the best possible roster.
I think the only thing I would change is the goaltending. But the difference is I think that it is the best possible roster in the sense that we have it's the most well-rounded lineup possible. We have a fourth line, we have a third line, we have the guys who can get under skin, and then we have our star power, which is our main thing. And defensively, you have good defensemen. You have 2-way defensemen. You have your offensive menace, which is Makar. Now, of course, you're down Theodore now, which is a big blow. 6 minutes and he breaks his wrist. That's a big blow to your defensive core. But again, Sanheim, who I have own personal reservations as to why I like Sanheim so much, but he can, as a player, he can step in anywhere. He can play that offensive role. He can play a defensive role. He's proved that in Philly. He's proved that throughout his career. There's not one place that he has to be. So, in a sense, I think it can be okay for the defensive core. It's just a matter of how can they continue with it. Like, they built a good team. It's a matter of if they can keep it all up. And also if Makar is healthy. Makar is sick today. Like, he wasn't at practice, he was sick.
Well, we did bring up Thomas Harley to Montreal, so
he's meeting the team in Boston.
Nope. They had to move
is he going to Montreal now?
He's in Montreal now.
Okay.
But
so
they're not to call him up unless Makar's out, though.
Yeah, if Makar's like 100% out,
he can't play unless Makar's out.
For the tournament as well. It's not just for one game; it's for the tournament.
Yep.
So if Makar leaves,
no one wants to see Makar go
Makar
out.
won't leave. Makar's in the same cut from the same cloth as Crosby is, where he'll play as long as he can.
McKinnon and all these guys.
It's just.
And I just want to spin back to Scheifele one more time. Someone on the forward core.
The Scheifele
no wonder the Jets guys talking about Scheifele so much.
In that forward core, you don't have anyone who knows Hellebuck the way Scheifele does. Hellebuck is a goalie. You want a guy that knows where to put the puck.
No, I agree with that, but you also can't take a player based on one goaltender. Even if he's the best goaltender in the world, you can't.
I will say this:
him.
Scratch Scheifele for everything other than the U.S. I don't care. I just wanted to see him in the wearing the Maple Leaf.
Here's my thing, though, is I can't believe I'm saying this. I think Tkachuk is more. Tkachuk to me is going to decide the game. Matthew Tkachuk, he's going to decide the game.
I disagree.
No. The reason why I'm saying that is Matthew is one of those guys that look. If you look at that Edmonton series, if you get him off his game, he really drags the team down with him.
becomes
But
a non-factor completely.
if he somehow becomes that rat and becomes that guy, look what he did in Florida. He is a heartbeat of a team, right? And he's going to be that Finland game you showed. He is the heartbeat of that
There's
American
a reason
team.
he's wearing an A for the U.S.
That's why I think Sam Bennett is so important in this game, right?
I
'Cause
can-
you got to rat out the rat, right?
But Bennett's also
slightly disagree.
has for a long time, at least as far as I've seen, had issues with feeding into it too much. These guys start
disagree.
getting under his skin. Like last year in the playoffs against the Bruins when he sucker punched Marchand there.
Yeah, you got a point there.
The only reason why I disagree with the whole Matthew Tkachuk being the X factor, I think Matthew Tkachuk is a great factor on it. I think the biggest X factor though is which goaltending we're going to get from Canada. In my mind, that is the only thing that the Canadian roster is missing. If you have Makar in there, the only thing you're missing is consistent goaltending. Binnington is not consistent. He proved that against Sweden of all people.
I think
he's
you
not
have to-
consistent.
so do you
enough.
go Hill or Montembeault?
I would go Hill.
I think you have to give Hill the look tomorrow because
Because Aiden Hill, Hater wants Aiden Hill.
As much as I am a Vegas fan, I'll admit Aiden Hill hasn't been the greatest goaltender, but what he is he's consistent. He's consistent in the way he plays. And in all honesty, that's what this Canada team needs. Binnington is by far, if he's on his game, by far is one of the better goaltenders in the tournament, but he's just not consistent. He's too streaky, I find.
If you're Canada, going into tomorrow, you're facing down Connor Hellebuck. That's who you're staring down.
Also,
that's who's gonna get the start again.
Also, the other issue I have with having Binnington is he's known for his temper. If you have guys like Tkachuk's coming at you and Miller coming at you, you don't want a guy that's going to randomly start throwing punches.
Both of those Kachucks are going to play off of Binnington's mental issues.
Yes, they'll play. They'll
bad.
play off.
I didn't read it like that, I swear.
They'll play off the fact that Binnington is just mentally disabled. Apparently, that's what Devin's saying.
If you've got guys who can really piss you off, and Jordan Binnington, who notably threw a water bottle at Nazem Kadri over getting run in the playoffs, that's going to be an issue.
That's my other question is that like Binnington, his temper's too unpredictable, and if you have people like Matthew Tkachuk and Brady Tkachuk and even JT Miller, like you saw first 3 minutes of the game against Finland, JT Miller already started a scrum because he was playing hard straight towards the net, and the Finnish didn't like it. You have guys like that, and the grit that the U.S. brings, because again, they're trying their best. Like they are leaving literally everything out. They're sacrificing everything. They're not leaving anything in the tank. It's a matter of if they get under Binnington's skin, the game is over for Canada. Which is why personally I'd say you go Hill, because he is more consistent as well as he also is more level-headed, I find. Unless he wants to throw a complete curveball and throw Montembeault in there.
That's scary for me,
Hey, Montembeault's gotta get the French goaltender in, man. Come on.
Montembeault is, like you said, you want consistency going into this game. Montembeault is the definition of inconsistent.
I know.
If you look up inconsistent, it is just a picture of Sam Montembeault.
No, I
Holy
agree.
fuck, he is one night he could look like he is
disagree.
on Connor Hellebuck's level. The next night he lets in 9 goals against the
I
Pittsburgh
disagree.
Penguins.
Jack Campbell is the definition of inconsistent.
No, Jack Campbell is just terrible. He just sucks.
Yeah. No.
That's just bad.
Montembeault one night could be prime Carey Price, and the next night he's prime Malcolm Subban. Like
Next night he's letting in 9
Why
goals
Malcolm
against.
Subban getting some shit? Damn.
He let in, was it Montembeault in net for the 9 goals against for the 2024-2025 Pittsburgh Penguins?
We got we got shut down for that, or we got R-rated for that. So we're not going to talk about that.
That clip we got age restricted on because Ali went on a rant and said the F word 13 times. We counted
God damn.
13 times in a 20-second clip, dude.
That is honestly understandable. I feel like I would be pretty mad if I gave up 9 goals to the 2024-25
kind of spinning back to the USA Canada thing. I think it depends on if the US can stay out of the box, not just Tkachuk, if the US can stay out of the box and what goaltending Canada gets, I think those are the 2 X factors in that game.
Yeah.
Goaltending and penalties, because the US power play is pretty good. Their PK is okay. The Canadian PK is pretty good, but their power play, that power play one line, you just cannot.
Oh, come on. No. I'm not getting demonetized because not like us.
Okay.
I am not getting demonetized.
So we had...
Actually, we can play Not Like Us legally because he did make it demonetized so everyone could listen to
So
it.
That's fucking hilarious.
He's not making any money from Not Like Us. Let's just keep that clear. Sorry.
we
continue.
may or may not have had some. What's that sound?
What sound?
That was terrible.
What sound?
Anyways, nothing. Never mind.
Look a beep.
It was a beep. Anyways, so we had some technical difficulties. So we're going back to what we're talking about. What we were talking about is the USA and Canada. What I was saying, no clue.
We started jamming out to Not Like Us for a little bit. Not me, obviously.
Yeah, there's some behind the scenes clips. Anyways, so we were.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know he was recording.
Check out the Instagram.
I thought it was shut off.
Yeah.
check the Instagram.
So like I said though, I think that it really comes down to if you can stay out of the box for the US and what goaltending you get from the. Also, by the way, I think Aiden Hill should start just purely off his setup. His setup is the nicest in the tournament.
It is,
It's
dude.
so beautiful.
I'm not gonna lie though, and it's just because I've grown up with it. I love the simplicity of Connor Hellebuck's setups. Just the one strip.
Fucking Glazer.
He's the best goalie in the world.
Right now.
Yeah.
As long as you don't say all
the
time.
reigning defending.
As long as you don't say of all time, I'm fine.
Not yet. It's coming.
He's top
no.
10.
No, he's
Top
not
10 of all time, 100%.
He's top 10 all time. He's never gonna be number 1 of all time. Never.
I don't know, man.
You're right. Carey Price is locked in that spot. All right, moving on.
Carey
Kylan.
Price is 4th. I have Brodeur, I have Hasek, and I have Waugh in front of him.
Even if Connor Hellebuck doesn't end
That's
up
fair.
being the best goalie of all time, I think he will finish his career top 2. I think it just depends on
Top 5.
Top 2.
Top 2. When you have Brodeur, Hasek, and Waugh in those top 3, what are you smoking?
Okay, but they also had Brodeur specifically. Let's take him. Can you name some of the defensemen he had playing in front of him most of his career?
Scott
'Cause
Stevens. Niedermeyer.
Yeah.
Who is the best defenseman that Connor Hellebuck has had for almost
Billy
5 years
Heinola.
now?
Josh Morrissey.
Josh Morrissey. And who else? Bufflin for 2 years.
Buffalo for 2 years. You had Tyler Myers.
Let's quiz him. Okay, name a defender
I
not
do
named
agree.
Josh Morrissey on the Winnipeg Jets.
Right now, I couldn't. For this current season, I couldn't.
Neil Pionk. I fucking hate the guy, but Neil Pionk.
I was gonna say Dylan DeMello.
Villy Heinola.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't watch Jets games.
The greatest defenseman of all time, Logan Stanley.
Absolute beauty. What, 6'7" for nothing?
He should be wearing the C for Canada right now. We made the wrong choice.
So, moving on from all that. Well, something that's kind of come up more or less around the Four Nations is all the rumors surrounding Crosby being traded. I want to know you guys' thoughts on that.
Leafs fans are delusional.
I think
There's more talk about going to Colorado than anything else.
that's what I want to get, where I want to go here. I don't like the idea of this for obvious reasons, but I think if Crosby leaves Pittsburgh, he's going to Colorado. I don't think he plays anywhere other than Pittsburgh or Colorado. Maybe
I could a small party could see him going home to Montreal.
that's what the only other team I was gonna say. You take that get the fuck out of here with that shit. At least if he goes to you guys, he's not a problem for me.
What I was gonna say is I don't think Crosby's ever gonna get traded.
I think he retires a Penguin.
He's gonna finish a Penguin. He doesn't want to get traded.
It's like Lemieux in like the 2000s,
he could
right?
sit there and look at the camera after. I saw this on a post actually on Instagram. He could sit there and look at the camera after every shift and say, "Fuck off! I'm not leaving Pittsburgh." And could say that at the end of every shift he gets off the ice, and there'd still be 3 pages a day saying, "Oh, why this moment in this game?" Because it's just the Crosby's going to the Colorado Avalanche. It's just.
Well, and that's just
I
the
wanted to know you
reality
guys.
of
I
hockey.
wanted to know you guys' opinions on it. I personally think that he will retire as a Penguin. I want him to retire as a Penguin. I don't ever want to see him move.
He's one of those guys, like it's like when Joe Pavelski went to Dallas, where it just was so weird. When Pavelski left San Jose,
It's the same thing with Rantanen. It's weird. with
Rantanen looks really weird in a Carolina.
No, but like
jersey.
Rantanen's still in his prime though, right? Like he can still adapt. Like Pavelski was
Tell me,
36
know,
and was just
True.
weird.
the
like-
best example of player who left and looked really weird in a New Jersey, Johnny Gaudreau. He looked fucking
That was-
weird
yeah,
in a
agreed.
Blue Jackets jersey.
Rest
to me,
his soul.
he's a
he looks
flame
weird.
for life, right?
Rest his soul.
Same
but he
with
looked weird.
Monahan in a Blue Jackets jersey. Just,
Monahan, weird in a Blue Jackets jersey. I loved the Jets version of Monahan. I got to watch a hat trick live last year. That was fucking awesome.
So one thing I do want to say about this is I look at the Washington Capitals, right? And you look at them and they're like, they've rejuvenated, right? Like everyone was talking, Ovechkin might need to get traded if he wants to hit this, right? Blah, 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 right? Oh, does Ovi still have it in the bag? Washington built right, I feel, right? I think you got to blame, I want to talk more about Pittsburgh than Crosby, because Crosby's going to be there no matter what, right? We're delusional. This is just clickbait if we're just talking about Sidney Crosby getting traded. Pittsburgh needs to look themselves in the mirror and do a full reset. You look at the Erik Karlsson deal. Yes, it was a risky one. Yes, you got him for a good deal. That's way too much salary.
At the time, I didn't think that trade made sense. I'm going to be completely honest.
They
have locked themselves up like the Tristan Jarry deal, right? Locked him up 5 for 5.
Goalie?
Well, it was supposed to be Jarry.
I think they're rolling with Jesper Blomqvist.
But yeah,
Nedeljkovic scored a goal, so I mean,
goal, assist, and a 40 save. That's just the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I want to kind of spin back a little bit here. I think we've all established Crosby trade ain't gonna happen.
Yes,
not gonna happen.
Never.
But Connor McDavid to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I don't think he goes to Toronto, but I do think if Edmonton doesn't win within the next 2 years, he leaves. I do believe that.
I can see him leaving in free agency, but again, it's one of those guys. A lot of those generational guys, they're treated so well in that city, they just never leave.
He's got a heated driveway. He's an Oiler for life.
I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed in Edmonton, but I also do think it depends on the success they have in the next couple of years.
He won't come to Calgary. That's all I know.
That would be like asking.
Dude, that would be bigger than the Luka deal. That would be bigger than the Luka deal.
Yeah,
imagine just saying, you know what, Edmonton's not good enough. I'm gonna go to Calgary.
Why would you go to Calgary?
Holy shit! There'd be riots in both streets.
Yeah, but of all places, why Calgary? There's
no. I mean, obviously, I'm talking hypothetically. We're not a destination for free agents, obviously, right?
Big new arena coming in a couple of years. Chance to be the face of the franchise moving.
Yeah, but no one wanted to be an Oiler before McDavid.
No. Correction. You have a chance to be the second face of the franchise. The face of the franchise of the Calgary Flames now and for the next foreseeable future is Dustin Wolf.
Kadri.
The worst player we have on the team.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. You can say this. McDavid comes to Calgary in this hypothetical. He is the face of the franchise. McDavid goes anywhere. He's the face of the franchise.
He's McDavid.
Just clarify that.
Think about that. He's Connor McDavid.
I'm just throwing the clarification out. I was talking about free agency pull. You've got even guys like Mikko Rantanen going into it this summer. I think we are a team that there could be interest from a guy like Mikko, from these top end free agents.
Are you saying Mikko Rantanen into Winnipeg?
No. Winnipeg wasn't even mentioned at all.
Okay.
No,
I thought
Rantanen would never go to Winnipeg.
I was like, what?
Winnipeg is
even
less likely to bring in these big names.
It should be a place of exile, dude. That place, fuck.
It's weird.
Does Winnipeg even exist?
Yes,
I'm convinced it's fake.
I can confirm it does exist.
I'm convinced it's all fake. I'm convinced it's just too many people getting stabbed and they're all delirium.
Man,
I'm telling you, Winnipeg's a government conspiracy, man. That's where they're hiding everyone.
In Winnipeg, a man ran up onto
Winnipeg is
a
just
stage,
Florida of Canada.
Like the stage where in a church on the podium in the church. They ran on the podium and tried to stab the pastor.
Dude, you thought Area 51 was in Nevada? It's actually in Winnipeg.
Yeah, no, I was just there last month. Winnipeg, all the people there, I'm convinced are just aliens.
He's involved in it. He's involved in it. Do they probe you?
No. But on the note of going to Winnipeg, I got to go to a Jets game live last month and got to watch Eric Comrie live, which last time I was here, I had lots of things to say about him.
It's the worst fucking goalie
I would
in
like
the league still.
He's not. He's one of the better backup goalies in the league. Backup wise, he's a great backup goaltender. It is the Jets defense does not play as confidently in front of him as they do with Hellebuck, and he's not.
Whoa! I wonder why you don't play as confident in front of your backup goaltender versus your Vezina winner this year.
Except for the fact that last year, in a similar situation with Laurent Brossoit as our backup, Brossoit is the best backup goalie in the NHL.
Brossoit's more of a fringe star than he is a backup goaltender, I find.
He's great for a tandem guy.
He's more your tandem guy than he is a... But I want to pedal kind of back to the Team Canada.
Oh, no, is Demko a backup right now?
Yes.
He might be the best.
Actually, no, he's been putting up numbers. He started playing. He's been putting up pretty good numbers now.
Didn't he just get hurt again?
Yeah, he left the game a couple days ago. because he went down into the RVH and then came up and something was wrong. He went to the bench and then Lankin again.
Honestly, and I love that.
He should retire.
I've been
retire.
Since before he played a game in the NHL. I've thought that
You just love every goaltender.
I love goalies. I love goalies. I don't know why, but I pay attention to goalies when they're coming up. And from the highlights I had seen from Demko before he even played a game in the NHL, I knew he was going to be top 5 at one point.
It's not an argue of Demko being top 5.
It sucks. It's a matter that Demko, he will never be the same again. Like it's been, he can put up saves still, but he's not gonna be the same again. He needs to, I know someone in this room that's not gonna like this. He needs to learn from Carey Price's mistakes and call it off while he's ahead. Because now look at Carey Price.
No,
but to be fair, Carey Price got a $10.5 million contract with a shitty knee. So
yeah, but
they could have just put him on LTIR the way they have now.
Yes, but he's still getting $10.5 million.
I just
$10.5 million is $10.5 million.
But his knee issues, if you look at it, long-term health should be your number one priority over $10 million.
If I told you I'm going to give you $10.5 million for the next 8 years, and I took a sledgehammer and broke your kneecap, would you do it?
No, that sounds painful.
$10.5 million for the next 8 years.
I just go into.
And I took a sledgehammer right now and just broke your kneecap.
But it's also different for me because I'm not expected. I don't have this one level expected of me.
We play junior
C-Dawg. I can fucking call it after $10 million for 8 years for a sledgehammer to my knee. I can stop playing hockey and doing anything athletic right now, and I'm set for life.
Well, that's what Carey Price did. Look at his knee. It's done.
He tried to play that extra few years, and
he made it to the Cup Finals.
In the Mickey Mouse Cup.
Stanley Cup run is
we beat your
correction
team.
Flurry through.
Sure, we're just
that
better.
Playoff run is the reason Carey Price will never play another hockey game, though.
He killed his knee for that, and it wasn't even a real.
Tampa cheated.
Also, in my opinion, it wasn't even a real playoff run because of the fact it was such a different series. The ends. It will never, because there wasn't the 82 game grueling season with all the injuries straight into the rest.
82 game grind
and then back to back into the playoffs. It was never going to be. Let's be honest here. That team that year that you guys went to that Cup Finals, if you had an 82 game season, you guys would never have been anywhere near that Cup Final.
I actually disagree. I think it's harder to win during the COVID season than the normal season.
Yes and no. In a lot of ways, yes. But in a lot
some
of
ways,
no.
yes, but in most ways, no. My main thing is that it's the bodies, right? Because yes, it's harder because you're away from your family, you're confined, all this stuff.
Yes, but Kylan, your mental is way worse during the COVID
2020 to 2021. All the players were still living with their families. The part of that season that I think would have made it a lot more difficult, especially for the Canadian teams, is the lack of fans. Because in the Canadian markets, you've got Edmonton fans who are notably fucking nuts when their team is good. And same thing in Winnipeg, same thing in Calgary.
Surprised they didn't pull Vancouver and riot when they lost last year.
That's because they only cheer for their team when their team is good.
Yeah.
Anyways, but no,
fuck Edmonton and their fans,
back to what we were talking about. I think Demko needs to retire personally. I think he needs to medically retire.
Unbiased podcast here.
No, I'm saying
that about my Oilers fans' comments.
I said that about Demko for a while. His knee will never be the same, and he's either going to most likely near. I'm guessing near replacement at some point.
Yeah,
it is more detrimental to his health to keep trying to play than it would be if he just calls right now. Because with his goalie knowledge, he could be one of the greater goaltending coaches.
He would make a phenomenal.
He just has to. He has to. In my opinion,
it just sucks that we have to talk about it this early into his career.
That's what I was going to say.
Because he was just starting to become that top 5 goalie in the world.
He needs to, in my opinion, he's still, unless he can change the way he plays or figure out something different, I still think the best option is for him to retire for his own health. But that happens to him. Sometimes NHL players have these great careers and they have to retire for their health. Like look at Lemieux. He had to leave the game for how long because of cancer. Like it's a shame because in my opinion, so all be my opinion, I would die on this hill. If Lemieux had a full career, he would have beaten Crosby's record. I mean, not Crosby's, Gretzky's records. In my opinion,
I do think if Lemieux got to play his
if Lemieux had a full career, he would have been better than Gretzky.
Career, no cancer,
every
none of
time
that.
you talk about Lemieux, I just instantly think of Walk It Off.
No, I can make that joke, but in all honesty, it's if he had a full career, he would have been better than Crosby. I mean, not Crosby, than Gretzky.
Oh, 100% he would have.
I want to back to what I was been trying to talk about for a couple minutes here.
I'd still put Lemieux as number 2 though. To me, it's Gretzky, Lemieux, and then I think Crosby.
But that's because we have the hindsight to look back at what Lemieux's career was with the time he missed and everything.
That is fair.
If you go back and take away all the injuries, the cancer, all of it, who knows? He could have put up. He was putting up superhuman numbers
on his pace. He would have beat.
He was he was a monster.
He had the size, he had the speed, he had the hands, he had the shot.
He had all of it.
He had
he had
all.
the French accent.
Yeah. Shit. That's the only part I didn't like. No, spinning back to Team Canada and their goaltending specifically, information came out as to why Logan Thompson wasn't put onto the Team Canada roster.
Makes me mad.
It pisses me off. I'm a Vegas fan and I get pissed off about it. The fact that apparently Peter DeBoer and Bruce Cassidy didn't like how he acted when he was in Vegas coaching with them. And there's some issues with that. This is my thing. I'm going to try and stay very calm about this. Logan Thompson had major injuries while in Vegas. He was on and off of injury consistently. When he was healthy, though, he was putting up roughly the same numbers he was right now.
Yeah.
Roughly. So when he came back healthy, and he's putting up those numbers, which are better than Hill's, and you still tandemed him with Hill, I swear they're better. Are they not better than Hill's?
No, they are. Yeah, they're way better.
I think he's just pulling up to get the specifics on it.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I think he played U Sports too, if I'm not wrong.
He did play U Sports, yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I just wanted to give that.
Yeah, he played
continue.
everywhere.
Yeah, continue, sorry.
On his way up.
When
to the
you
NHL,
have
man.
someone like that who's putting up these great numbers, and yes, he was injured, and he comes back from the injury,
I think he's top 5 in save percentage right now, so just...
and then you tandem
I'm pretty
him.
sure he's top 2 in save percentage right now.
Top 2?
Yeah, he is.
He's only behind Hellebuck in pretty much every goaltending stat.
Hey, don't disrespect Anthony Stolars.
I'm going to disrespect Anthony Stolars.
Don't
What are you going to do about
Don't
it?
get me started on Stolars.
Save percentage wise, it's Halbuck, Ottinger, Vazzy,
Oh,
Thompson.
okay.
Why do you say Thompson?
wait.
It's Thompson.
Thompson.
He says Thompson all the time, and it pisses me
Oh,
off.
that's
Thompson.
terrible.
It's Thompson.
Logan Thompson.
Okay, give me a second. If I just go home. Okay, if we go save percentage.
I love seeing that 2.6.
Okay, Hellebuck, Thompson, Kemper, Vazzy, Blackwood.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Kemper,
when
man.
you have someone who's at that caliber, and then he comes back from a major injury, ready to get back and help his team, and then you tandem him with a goaltender who you say brought you to the Stanley Cup Finals, and Hill's a fantastic goaltender. He was great in that finals run. But if you look at the team in front of him, it was
loaded.
It
That
was loaded.
Vegas team was loaded.
Like I like Hill's a great goaltender, and I'm not dissing Hill by any means, but he had a lot of help up front, which is great for Vegas with the cup win. But when you tandem him with that guy who was I'm not saying starting to struggle, but who wasn't.
Who's starting to look human again.
Yeah, it was starting to look human again to a point, and you tandem him with that guy, of course he's not going to be happy. Of course he's not going to be happy. Especially when the tandem you're leaning towards the guy with the Stanley Cup Finals. I get it. He was with you for the Stanley Cup Finals. I get it. He played great in those series in that playoff run. But Thompson was still putting up better numbers.
Laurent Brossoit was their game 1 starter for the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't think that Hill's a bad goaltender by any means. But no wonder Thompson wasn't happy.
And I mean,
when this is what's going, like,
this is one where you're looking at it. It's a 50-50 look at it between hindsight and you should have known that he was going to be this goaltender.
For me, it's more
65,
like 60-40 for the he should have known.
You should have known because he showed it. He showed it consistently.
Also the thing about work ethic. Look at his work ethic. Like, the guy went to the Dub, went undrafted in the Dub, went to U Sports. Played 1 year in U Sports, got an ECHL contract, and from ECHL in 1 year won the I don't know if he won ECHL goaltender. He really won the ECHL, I know that much.
He won some awards.
Won some awards in the ECHL, went to the AHL, won the awards in the AHL, then came to the NHL. So obviously his work ethic's there. You know when he's coming back from the injury, he's going to work his ass off. So, like...
That's like with Calgary this year, they've been giving Vladar a few more, like, they still seem like they want to roll that tandem with Vladar.
Wolf is getting more looks still, though.
He is now? I just know, like, a little while ago when I was looking, I was hearing that it was still too much time for Vladar, and that was making me nervous for the Flames because of what happened in Vegas with Thompson. And I didn't want to see a similar situation with a guy who could single-handedly win this city a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Better than Hellebuck already.
He will be within the next 2 years.
No, he will. He will.
Okay.
I 100% and this is not a knock against Connor Hellebuck. This is a conversation between my two favorite teams. So there's a lot of bias between both. Dustin Wolf, we've seen it at every level he's played at. It has taken a year of I'm gonna settle in, and then immediately turns into I'm like award-winning MVP caliber two in a row in the WHL.
Yeah,
won it in the AHL. I'm pretty sure 2 years in a row there too.
Yeah. Before we continue the Dustin Wolf, I think in my personal opinion, if with the whole Thompson situation, I get it. You had a bad experience, but in my opinion, when you're picking for your national team, you have to put as assistant coaches, you have to put your personal feelings aside and
Doing your research for Decord?
know that he might have.
Hellebuck has been in Winnipeg for what, 9 years? Why haven't we made him a Canadian citizen?
He was drafted to Winnipeg in 2012. Has been playing in Manitoba since
So why haven't we made him a Canadian citizen?
2015.
It's history. He has to give his U.S. citizenship for that.
I say put a gun to his head.
But no, what I was
Kidnap his dogs.
as the Canadian coaches, you have to.
You're
put
stuck in Winnipeg, buddy.
I mean, he did it to himself. He signed here for 7 more years. Connor, thank you for signing. You're never gonna see this, but I'm directing this to you. I don't know why you signed for 7 more years in Winnipeg. I will never understand why you decided willingly to stay in Winnipeg of all places for 7 years. But thank you. We love you and we appreciate it, but we would have understood if you decided to leave. We would have made sense.
The point of it, this is a great tangent, dude. I've been trying to make this point for the past 5 minutes, dude. But when you're a coach, I think you have to put your personal opinions aside and have to pick just the best goaltender that is out there for the Canadians. Because if Thompson was in there, Thompson would just start hands down.
Yeah, agreed.
Thompson started hands down, and he would be up there with Gustafsson, with Soros. I don't think he'd be up there with Hellebuck yet.
That's fair.
But I think he'd be up there with the other two. He'd be the second best goal in the tournament.
Whoa.
Now, second best in the tournament.
Wow, actually, is Omar playing? Yeah, okay, fair. Fair. I mean, I'd still put Ottinger over.
You've still got Jake Ottinger
I'm
in there.
talking about the 4 that have played in the game so far. So
I can see
Soros,
that.
Gustafsson, Hellebuck, and Biddington.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
It's
Now,
so funny that Ottinger got called to this tournament to see no ice.
Moving back to Dustin Wolf, I have a question for you before we move on to our last 2 topics for the day.
Yep.
We had this conversation last, and we can cut in the clip. We're going to clip this, so we'll cut back now to this last clip. Do you think Dustin Wolf can get one top 5 Hart vote
This year?
Yes.
I don't think he will, but I think he deserves it.
That's what me and everyone. Now, do you think it'll be harder for him to get one top 5 vote? Not winning it. One top 5 vote for the Hart Trophy versus him getting votes for the Vezina. Which do you think would be harder for him?
Honestly, it's a lot harder for him to get votes for the Hart this year because the reason I say this is because you already have a goaltender who is a Hart favorite this year. You already have Hellebuck, who is
It's harder for a goalie to win.
And we're not saying to win, Ali. We're saying one vote. Now, the reason...
Okay, one vote to get one top 5 vote for the Hart, or to get one vote in general for the Vezina, or to win the Vezina?
No, to get to place top 3 in the Vezina, or do we get one top 5 vote?
He gets a top 5 vote in the Hart before he makes it top 3 in the Vezina final.
That's what Ali was saying.
You've got
Ali thinks it's easier to win the Vezina. Easier to win the Vezina than it is the Hart. I completely disagree and the reason why is because then to get one top 5 vote. And me and Evan said this actually, and you can cut to Evan saying this. It's one top 5 vote, and if you really look at it, it's based on who's most valuable to their team. Who else is going to be, other than Hellebuck, who else are you going to say is as valuable to their team as Dustin Wolf? Getting one vote, not even winning, just one vote.
McKinnon, Makar, these guys.
No, but I'm saying one vote, just one vote.
Oh, just one vote? It's like...
Ali thinks he'll get top 3 in Vezina this year. Not the Hart.
No chance.
I think he has a higher chance of getting top 5 in the Vezina conversation than getting a vote in the Hart.
Can you do me a favor? Can you pull up the goaltending stats again? Sorry.
Yeah, I think I have it up here. Right here.
All right. Let me just.
Hellebuck, Thompson, Kemper, Vazzy, Blackwood, Decord, Allmark, Gibson, Gustafson, Wolf.
Just looking at the stats, is a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, you're going to turn and say it's Kemper's going to get a top 3 vote. No, when it comes down to it, you've got your top 2 locked in. Your top 2 are Thompson and Hellebuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then your third guy is a placeholder, and Dustin Wolf is 10th in goaltending stats. That is not, when you're looking at the best goaltender award, being 10th in save percentage for goalies is not going to do you any favors.
He's
in placing
rookie
top 3.
Yes,
goaltenders.
but you also have to look at the team in front of him. Like, okay, to
What's
be fair,
the competition for
to
rookie
me,
goaltender?
Gustafson is the number 3 as of right now. But
Yeah,
I think Wolf can be
100%.
number 5.
Number 5, maybe.
I don't.
I don't know, man. I think he'll start being more in contention for it as of next year.
Yeah, that's what this year I think it's more likely. I don't think either are going to happen. I think it's more likely for him to get one Hart vote this year.
Again, we're talking like a rookie can win the Vezina or the Hart, but
No, we're saying likelihoods.
yeah.
Okay. We
Should probably
two
wrap
more
it up soon.
2 more
Okay.
segments. The next thing we're going to talk about is it's about junior hockey, but the Penticton Vs have now been announced. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not,
I don't think it's been confirmed
but
yet.
it's most likely that they are going to be moving up from the BCHL up to the WHL as a newest expansion team for the WHL, which I think is great. They're a fantastically run organization. So my question for you guys, there's also rumors that the Okotoks Oilers will move to the WHL. I personally think that the Brooks Bandits should be moved to the WHL.
I'm with you
What do
on
you guys
that.
think with that? Do you guys think that the BCHL should remove the Albertan teams and have them only be BC? Like, I'm sorry, it's sort of just an open statement about junior hockey in general. Because again, with that whole NCAA issue now that happened, junior hockey's completely changed.
So
And it
for
will
me,
never be the same.
I grew up when I first started getting into hockey and watching hockey. I was going to BCHL games, and for the longest time, the most well-run organization in the BCHL was the Wenatchee Wild. We saw them get moved up when Winnipeg moved there. Now we're seeing it with Penticton, and I do think the next team to be moved up in general out of any Western Canadian junior league should be the Brooks Bandits.
They've been proven to win.
They dominated the AJHL for
They dominated Canadian junior hockey for 4 years.
for a long stretch of time, which we saw Penticton do very recently as well in the BCHL.
Yeah, and if the BCHL had never broken off, I think, and the Bandits had stayed in the AJHL, they'd still be dominating junior hockey.
And I do think the Albertan teams in the BCHL are a joke, to be completely honest with you.
Now, my thing is, I think Okotoks is more likely than Brooks. The reason why I'm saying that is the WHL also has to look at market. Okotoks is a bigger market
But
than
the difference, Brooks is so diehard.
You can't
That is
really
fair.
throw
That is
out
fair.
the
Again, I'm
market
not a
art.
junior guy.
When
right? I don't watch junior hockey.
you're bringing in a team, you've already brought up Wenatchee, which is a very small market when you've got a team from the same state with the Seattle Thunderbirds, and you've got Spokane, you've got all these other markets.
Spokane's popping off, by the way, this year. They're so good this year.
Oh,
Don't they got Catton?
Catton, Cristal, and Van Olm is the other one that's doing really well for them this
Yeah,
year.
they're-
Something Van Olm.
Their goalies are pretty good as well.
Fun fact, Spokane's the only team to break the Memorial Cup trophy.
Doesn't shock me in the slightest.
Not in the slightest. But no, for the BC, when it comes down to the BCHL, I think I said it when they accepted these teams, and I will say it till the day I die. You're the British Columbia Hockey League. Why the fuck are you taking teams from Alberta? I get that these are very well-run organizations, very good organizations, good competition, but they're not British Columbia. This is
Spruce Grove. I'm not sure about. Sherwood Park's very well run. Blackfalds is well run. Okotoks is well run.
from what
So
I've
is
heard, all the
Brooks.
teams that were taken are decently run at the very least. I never paid much attention to the AJHL. I've always kind of stayed close with the BCHL as best as I can.
I've paid attention to the AJHL just because I know some people who are in the AJHL right now, but also it's just the AJ is one of the top teams in leagues in Canada, and they will be for a while. For the sanctioned leagues, they're one of the top. They're, if not the top sanctioned league in Canada for junior hockey. I mean, you can put the OJHL up there, you can put the SJHL up there, but I'd still say AJ than SJHL for caliber at least. And that's just because, no offense, we're Alberta. There's nothing really else to do here but play hockey.
That's genuinely all we have.
Like it's play hockey or go to the oil rigs. Like that's what you got.
Pretty much. I mean, you can try to learn how to do some kind of combat sport, but good luck.
Yeah, it's just
Doors might freeze up on you.
Yeah, but it's like the other leagues in Canada, they're good leagues, but they're not the same as the AJ. And it's being shown. I mean, the Centennial Cup this year is being hosted in Calgary for the AJ, which I was thinking we could maybe do something for that.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
That's
Calgary.
cool. I'll
The
hit 'em
Canucks.
up.
The Canucks are hosting the AJ. You could hit up the Canucks for your schooling portion at least.
Pucks in deep.
We're not doing the pucks and deep. We can do stuff ourselves for that. I'm not going to the Centennial Cup and making a booth there.
I feel like that would be fun.
I'd be down to go make a booth at the Centennial Cup. I
Right?
can't lie.
What if we do it?
I have a dude.
You don't think I think they'd be willing to do it.
Get us on there as their color commentary
Not
team.
with our
All right, we'll
history.
talk. We'll talk about it after.
But I think that like it's one of those. If Brooks was still in the AJ, they'd dominate the entire scene, and there'd be no doubt about it. It's just a matter of. I think Brooks in the WHL fits a lot. It's a fantastic run organization. They know how to scout
It
players.
fits better than the BCHL.
Yeah, and I don't think that. Yeah, personally, I don't understand why Penticton should be moved up, but I think that Brooks should have been with them.
It should be Penticton and Brooks, not Penticton and
Okotoks.
yeah.
Anyways, these are all just rumors. Starting off with our next segment, the highly awaited, undisputed, worst takes in the world.
D-Dawg himself.
This
D-Dawg.
calling them the worst takes might
right.
be a bit of a stretch.
Welcome back to our one of our favorite segments. One of our favorite segments
exactly.
on our podcast. One of the favorite segments we have is hot takes. So D-Dawg's gonna give us a couple of his hot takes. We've done Allie's so far. Go back to the last video if you want to hear those. D-Dawg, why don't you?
Okay.
The floor is yours.
I'm going to start off with, this is one I feel very strongly about. Scott Arniel should be getting more talks for the Jack Adams Trophy. Sorry. It's not a matter of he's turned this team from being terrible into being a top team in the league. It's the fact that this team is, at this point, we survived January, which is a miracle most years. January has for the last...
You guys are too much boozing, because what else do they do in Winnipeg? You booze and stab people.
Yeah,
That's all
pretty
you
much.
do. That is Winnipeg in general.
But January has been the worst month of the Jets season for 2 years in a row. And this year, January was, I'd argue, our best month this season so far, besides obviously October. October, November, when we went on that ridiculous 15-1 run. I'm not sure, I don't know who else really gets, who is the favorite for the Adams right now. Do either of you guys know?
Me, well, in my opinion,
Or have
Carberry.
any opinions? Carberry is, that's
Capitals coach.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
To me, I think the Capitals were less likely to be in this position than the Jets. So to
I
me,
think
for
Oh,
every
100%
reason-
they were.
I think-
Again, any other year, I would have went Scott Arniel.
For me,
I
I'm
think-
not even saying I want him to win the thing. I just want him to place top 3 in vote.
I think
think he's number
an
2.
underrated sleeper pick, and this is again, it could be a very, very low pick if the Flames go pretty far. I think Huska could be not winning it, no way, but I think
He'll be
in-
top 3.
I think if the Flames make the playoffs, he'll be top 3.
Who's the coach for Columbus? Columbus hasn't been getting
That
enough
is such
love for what they're doing.
such an irrelevant team that I have no clue.
Give me a second.
I think they may be an irrelevant team, but they have looked pretty dangerous at
Evanson.
times this year.
Dean Evanson. For
Who
the Columbus
is that
Blue
guy?
Jackets. Blue Jackets head coach. But
Former
to me,
Wild head coach tried to fight Rick Bowness 2 years ago.
that guy. Yeah.
to me, it is the Wild coach. I think Hines also deserves some conversation in there.
He's been okay. I mean,
John Hines. I mean, Minnesota's been popping.
when
Okay.
Kaprizov's
Moving
healthy.
on.
Yeah,
Next
fair.
hot take.
Josh Morrissey is a top 3 defenseman in the NHL right
Nope.
now.
No.
I think the only 2 ahead of him are Quinn Hughes and Cale McCarr. I've heard people try to argue for Evan Bouchard, which is terrible.
Adam Fox. Charlie
no.
McAvoy.
Charlie
Yeah.
McAvoy is better defensively, But if we look at it,
I'd still Fox.
I'm pretty sure
much as,
is Josh Morrissey not on pace for over 100 points this
No,
year?
he's not.
He was at
Definitely not.
one point.
He
I know
was.
that, and he's one of the few defensemen in the league that could just snap and turn it on offensively to the point where he somehow ends up with 100 points.
in my opinion, as much as a piece of shit human being he is, and I dislike what he did to Calgary, Adam Fox is the third place for me. He is such a. What it comes down to is the little things. He's so good both offensively and defensively.
I don't see it
That
defensively.
2016 draft, the Flames had Fox and Kachuk. Whoever the scout is, great job. Holy smokes! Imagine if they played here.
It's like I said, Fox. If you truly watch him in the defensive zone, he is the definition of what you want a star defenseman to be. He's like, yes, he's not your Cam McCarr or Quinn Hughes, who are the flashy offensive defensemen. He is, what, in my opinion, when you really watch him, one of the most underrated defensemen in the league. And the reason why I say that is because he is big and he is mean and he can move. He can skate the puck. He's got good hands. He can pass the puck. He can shoot the puck. But also, he's mean. Like, he is what you need in a defenseman. You need your defenseman to be mean. You need him to sit there and to not let people go near the goaltender.
Josh
and he
Morrissey
is that mean guy.
Josh Morrissey, yes, I do see the mean thing, but you've got to look at Josh Morrissey. We saw it a little bit against Sweden in that game. He can play that mean game. I mean, for the first 2 years of his career, he was paired up with Dustin Byfuglien. Like, he knows how to play that mean game. He just doesn't have to because he's in the right
have
spot.
to or doesn't want to.
It's genuinely he doesn't have to.
It's not a style for everyone, but what I'm saying is when you're talking about top three, I still think Fox is better than Morrissey.
I think Morrissey over the course.
As much as I dislike Adam Fox, and I cannot emphasize this enough, I do not like him for what he's done in Calgary, but he is a fantastic defenseman.
And I do want to say the praise for
Arrogant
Morrissey
prick,
here
but
isn't
he's a
me
good
doing
guy.
that. I'm not praising Morrissey as a top three defenseman as a Jets fan. It's from.
My ass, he's not praising as a Jets fan.
I
Look at his
swear to
getup.
you.
This
I
dude's wearing a
swear
Jets
to you.
jersey, a Jets hat.
I swear to you, this is
He'd
not
be
with
wearing
bias.
Jets pants and Jets shoes if he could.
I promise you, this is not coming from a place of bias. I've gotten to watch him develop from this small, pretty undersized defenseman comparing to what the guys were when he came in, who really didn't know how to handle himself in his own end, to a guy who is always in the right spot, who is great offensively, who drives the Jets. If you want to, I'm looking at this. The Jets don't have any of the success we have this year if we don't have Josh Morrissey, because we don't have that elite puck-moving defenseman, and he is.
I still think Fox is better.
In a lot of ways, just as much a key part of just as much that organization as Connor Hellebuck is. He is. There's a reason he wears an A. He will be the next captain in Winnipeg after Lowry is done, and it is because he is.
Why the hell is Adam Lowry your captain, by the way?
Adam Lowry is a great fucking captain. He's the only man who has dropped Ryan Reeves in a fight.
I think we got time for one more hot take. You got one more or no?
Logan Thompson is going to be top 2 goalies in the league for the next 10 years. I do believe that.
I can see it. I'm not
Top 2?
It is
Top 2.
It is going to be Logan Thompson and Dustin Wolf for the next
2.
decade.
No.
I could see it.
No. Ottinger deserves to be in that conversation. He's only 25.
I haven't seen enough from Ottinger. Yes, he turns it up in the playoffs, but he's not.
Everyone is
doesn't-
sleeping on San Jose Sharks legend Yaroslav Askarov.
Askarov's going to be a great goalie. He will be a great goalie, but I don't think he's going to be better than Thompson.
Jesper
Or
Wallstead.
Wolf.
Wallstead, there could be a conversation. He'll be top 3. He'll be right behind whoever's in that second spot.
I think it's Wolf and I think Thompson and Ottinger could be interchangeable. Depends on how Island do. Because again, it's.
I just haven't seen enough from Ottinger in the regular season.
I'm a big supporter of Thompson. I think he's a fantastic goaltender that should be in that talk for that one of those top goaltenders. But it's a matter of if he can continuously keep it up. Also, another big Thompson is can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
He is prone to injuries. it's kind of very, very lucky he hasn't gotten injured this season. But he's very prone to injuries, like when he was in Vegas. So it's a matter of if he can stay healthy and keep this up. If he can, I could see him and Ottinger being in the argument. I think Wolf will be there no matter what.
Wolf's going to be number one within 2 years.
2 or 3 years, yeah, I'd say that.
Wolf's going to be the best goalie in the world within the next 2-3 years.
Which is really great to see that smaller goaltenders doing that. It's not just these 6'7" Lardexes now doing it. So.
Well, and for Ottinger, yes, he has been great in the playoffs when it matters. But I'm not willing to only base it off of that. He's been just okay enough to get his team where they need to be in the regular season.
Well, this has been D-Dawg's Hot Takes.
I think we'll wrap it up there.
I think we'll wrap up here. So thank you guys for watching. We hope you guys have a great day. We are going to watch the
Yes, we got something
Coronations,
special planned for you guys.
and we'll go from there. So
Super
have
excited.
a great day, y'all.
Like and subscribe.
Go fuck yourself, Allie, and see you guys later.
Just